it's really fitting that we bring the Christmas season in our liturgy and our worship to a conclusion with the baptism of Jesus. The danger, I think, with Christmas is that it becomes too much of a recollection of a wonderful event in the past, and it stays something 2,000 years ago. But the baptism of Jesus brings the reality of what occurred beginningly at Christmas right before us and keeps it present to us. You know, the early Christians had a real difficult time with the baptism of Jesus. Why did he need to be baptized? Why did he go to be baptized? And it wasn't until the realization that what Christmas was all about, the becoming human of God, the Creator becoming one of his own creatures, that the reality dawned on them. And the baptism of Jesus brings that really to the fore with no frills. St. Paul said in one of his epistles, God made Christ, God made Jesus to be sin, even though he knew no sin. When Jesus went into the waters of baptism, he was fulfilling what the incarnation had begun. The incarnation means that God became one of us and we had become one with God. And so we are carried into the waters of the Jordan with Jesus. One of the early Christian writers had a little simile, I guess you'd call it. He said, just as the pillar of fire led the Israelites out of the slavery of Egypt through the waters of the Red Sea, so the pillar of the body of Jesus led the Christian people out of the slavery of sin through the waters of the Jordan. Very symbolic, but it's not just poetic. It's real. We have all died with Christ, entered into the waters of death, which is what baptism isn't. A sprinkling. It's not a washing. It's a brush with death if we do it right, by plunging people under water and then bringing them up again. That's the symbolism of baptism. It's death and resurrection. And that's, of course, the way we live our lives. We have died with Christ and we are alive with Christ. And so this is a great way to end the Christmas season by reminding ourselves that all that we have been celebrating was a reality in our own lives because God in Christ is so intimately wound up with our being that all that happened to him is happening and will happen to us. Death and resurrection, beginning with our baptism into the life of God, into the life of Jesus, and living that life out as Jesus did, day by day, week by week, month by month.